It's me, Roger. I'm back with a little video where I'll share all my little secrets with you. Do you have clean hands? Are you subscribed? So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Hello, dear friends. Today I'm going to show you how to make small cookies, a little treat, especially with coffee. Quick to make, easy to do, and honestly, they just melt in your mouth. How good is that? But let's not waste any more time. Let's go. I'll show you.
For this recipe, we will need butter, powdered sugar, all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, and cocoa. In a bowl, we're going to put the butter, a mixing bowl, whatever you have. We'll add the softened butter, the powdered sugar, and the salt. The butter, of course, needs to be soft, like a creamy and smooth texture. And we're going to mix it all together thoroughly and completely until the butter has completely incorporated the sugar. You can do this by hand, but I don't really like that. But hey, everyone has their own methods. You can also do this with a mixer. It works really well on the first speed. It might be a bit quicker. Finally, by hand, it will go much faster. If you're using a mixer, don't let it beat too much. You need to do this with a dough hook or a paddle. It shouldn't get frothy. It should just be a bit creamy. There you go. Now that everything is thoroughly mixed, and we have a wonderfully nice creamy texture, especially if you're using a mixer, take the paddle or hook, not whisk. We don't want to aerate it at all. And now I can add my vanilla extract in there as well. There we go. I'm mixing this vanilla in very well indeed. Looking good so far. And now, since it's really well mixed together nicely enough already, I'm going ahead with adding flour. Next up here too. Then finally afterward. Now going right on into things directly myself. Hands-on approach-wise. It'll work much better overall. That'll work much better. There you go. I'm going to be careful at first, not to spill it everywhere. I could have chosen a container that was a bit larger in size to accommodate everything more comfortably. However, sometimes things don't go as planned, and we have to make do with what we have. That's just the way life unfolds, and we learn to adapt to these small challenges. We're mixing everything well, until we smoothly get a dough. There we go, it's getting a little bit thicker. The flour mixes in well. Just don't overwork it. Just mix it well. It should give us a slightly crumbly dough. I'm putting it everywhere now. Next time I'll use a slightly bigger container. Alright, there you have it. A perfectly prepared dough that looks just right. It's smooth, well kneaded, and ready for the next step in your baking process. This dough is exactly what you need for a successful bake. Not too firm, not too hard, easy to work with, like And with that, I'm going to carefully make a ball of dough that will hold together well. First, I gather all the ingredients and mix them thoroughly to ensure everything combines perfectly. As I knead the mixture, I notice how everything comes off the sides of the bowl nicely, indicating that the consistency is just right. That's it. I have a nice, smooth dough. Now, I can confidently place this dough onto the work surface. I make sure to collect all the flour that might have scattered around the edges, incorporating it back into the dough. This step is crucial to prevent any waste and to maintain the right texture. Now, I have a very nice dough that no longer sticks to my fingers, which is a sign that it has been kneaded to perfection. The dough feels soft yet firm, and it's ready for the next stage of preparation. This process ensures that the dough will rise well and have a great texture when baked.
Wonderful! The recipe: 300 grams of butter, 170 grams of sugar, 4 grams of salt, 600 grams of white flour, some vanilla, and 20 grams of cocoa powder.
I'm going to carefully cut this dough in half, making sure to create 2 roughly equal pieces. This is an important step to ensure even baking later on. There we go. I've set one piece aside for now. For the other piece, I'm going to add the cocoa powder. It's crucial to do this gently so it doesn't splatter everywhere, which could make a mess and waste ingredients. As I add the cocoa, I mix it all in thoroughly. I'm really taking my time to incorporate the cocoa well, ensuring that it's evenly distributed throughout the dough. This will give the final product a rich, chocolatey flavor that is consistent in every bite. It's important to be patient during this process to achieve the best results. I'm applying a steady pressure with the palm of my hand like this to really incorporate it gently and firmly with a consistent motion. I don't know if you can see the motion I'm making. I carefully roll the dough, then I gently turn it over, and I patiently start the process again and again until I achieve a smooth, even dough with a consistent, uniform color throughout. It's slowly coming together. There we go. You shouldn't work it more than just a little bit necessary, because otherwise your delicious homemade cookies will be a bit tough, so that your cookies will turn out perfectly soft and tender. And there we go. Now we have our 2 doughs, vanilla and chocolate. We're going to carefully shape them. Now we're going to make small logs, and precisely. Not too thin, about the size of a thumb, which is typically around 2 centimeters in diameter. Oops, I messed up. There's a bubble in the mixture. But don't worry, you can easily fix it by gently smoothing it out. There you go, all set and ready. Let's keep going. So we're going to do all of the vanilla and chocolate flavors in this process the same way. Now that the small logs are just made, I'm going to roll them in a bit of sugar. A little bit of sugar here. And I'm slowly rolling them in it, just like that, carefully, like this. It is It's as simple as that. There you go. And there it is, done. Now that all my small logs are rolled in sugar, I'm going to cut them. You can do this with a knife, but I have a metal scraper. You cut them about 1 centimeter, a good centimeter thick. There you go. It cuts really well, it's very tender. All you simply have to do now is very carefully and gently place them on a tray with some parchment paper and evenly spread them out just like this. What I recommend is to put them on the same tray, half chocolate and half vanilla. Let me explain why. With the vanilla you can see clearly when they're cooked. The chocolates, on the other hand, are much harder to tell. So this way you won't be surprised if they're not cooked enough or overcooked, especially the chocolate ones. The chocolates are a lot harder to deal with, so that way you won't be surprised if the chocolate ones aren't cooked enough or are overcooked. When the vanilla ones are ready, the chocolate ones are ready too. And there you go, that gave me 2 square trays and a little extra there. Now, I'm going to put them directly in an oven at 180 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. You need to keep an eye on it. As soon as the whites have a little bit of color, just a bit brown, they're done. I'm going to show you that. And there you go. Now we can see, well, it's taken on a little bit of color on top and slightly underneath, so it's cooked. So with the chocolates you can see it's really hard to tell when they're done. That's why I recommend putting half chocolate and half vanilla on a tray. That way, when you see that the vanilla ones are cooked, the chocolate ones are automatically cooked too. All that's left is to put them on a plate. And there you have it. I assure you it's really, really good. It's a very delicate cookie. And here's the final result. So doesn't that make you want some, with some little dates around and about? There you go. Putting this on a table for coffee, it looks really great. A few more around the area. It looks really great.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know how to do it. Go ahead, do it. It's not hard. And I'll see you soon for the next video. Goodbye. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, share my videos, and thanks for leaving a comment.